ever sell a truck and go, kind of wish I didn't do that? And then you find one, maybe not quite as nice, but has upgrades, and then buy it? I did that. Stay tuned. Hey everybody. I got a truck. Sorry for the delay. I am actually editing a video that will come out before this one. I took the Zoku out for a test run type thing after extending it and trying different things. The Servo worked great. Love that RS700 V2. It's in the toolbox. I'll let you figure the rest out there. Anyway, I did film a bit of a running video. You'll watch the video and find out. But then a buddy of mine who decided to get out of RC trucks because he wants to fly drones. That's right, Liam. Totally fine. He was selling off all of his trucks and sold one that I definitely would have bought. Gotten, whatever. But he had a Baja rig. And I'll be honest, I really miss having one. When I bought the one I had, which is in the first, you just saw it, and it's in the beginning of every clip, where it's coming around and it actually smokes my camera. Old camera, I should say. I don't really know. I just this is boring, whatever. The real story to that was, it's not that the truck was boring. I wanted to buy that. The F10 portal kit came out, the Phoenix portal kit, and I wanted one really bad. And it just so happened I got the exact price that I needed to buy that truck from my old Baja ray that I had, which this is not one of those. This isn't that one. Pretty well kind of regretted it not too long after, although knowing, it's nothing, it's not like a crazy special truck or anything. I knew I could pick up another one. Never really got around to it. I've built a number of things since then. Built up the... Yes, there's one missing. Built the fleet up that I wanted. I wanted my 4Runner, which I absolutely love that truck. Obviously, just married, which got a complete bit of an overhaul. With the, it has the D44 straight axles back underneath of it. And then, of course, we've got the H10 optic behind me there, which that thing is just such a cool truck. So I needed something fast. Something that I could just take out and just kind of thrash, have fun, skidding corners, sliding corners, and just all that fun stuff. I missed it. I missed having something like that. And then I started, I love Pennywise. They have a song that I've just been listening to on repeat because I'm literally putting together a short that's to the beginning of that song. So it's going to be, I'm putting it all together in my head. And I want to really try and work hard on this bit of a video. I've always loved the trophy trucks. I really, really have. They're probably my favorite kind of racing truck. I don't think there's really anything else out there. At least for go fast. They're insane. They're just such a cool truck. I've gotten the privilege of seeing a few in real life, and they're just something you don't forget. And then a number of years ago now, he's been kind of gone for a while, doing career because he graduated school. Forget the name. Cyrix RC. I could try and find his channel. Actually, yeah, I will find his channel, and then I'll put it in the description, and you can go take a look. So it's Psychon XC. So I will put the link to his YouTube channel in the description if you haven't seen it. But he was building his own custom trophy trucks, and he still has them, but you drool over these things when you watch them. And nobody had really come out with anything at that time. The closest thing was the Yeti, which they did do the score, but the Yeti had its own kind of issues, to say the least. But then Losi came along with the Baja Ray. They did the first one, then they did this iteration, and then they have now the 2.0, which has the really cool F100 body, which would be nice to see on this, but I don't know if it directly swaps over. I could look into that, but I'm really not worried about it. I'm happy to have the F-150. Obviously, I don't know if this was all my buddy that did all this, but this has some upgrades. So it has the aluminum knuckles in it up front. So you can kind of see right there. It's got the aluminum knuckles. Finger got stuck. It has the aluminum bulkhead. It has, I believe that piece was already aluminum. Up there where the A-arms mount to, I believe that's I'm trying to remember if mine had those aluminum parts. I want to say they did, but maybe not. So maybe that's another aluminum piece that was put in. It's got the aluminum truss in the rear. Aluminum upper links, which I actually didn't do in mine. I put the aluminum lowers on. So now I just need to get the aluminum lowers. I'm already looking at the aluminum rear axle. Any upgrades I do with this truck, it's going to be whatever I can find that's nothing extremely priced. Amazon, take it however you want. They have a lot of upgrades. Some are directly from Losi and some are from who knows who. But from the reviews and everything I'm seeing, the rear axle that I found that fits this is a really good axle. It works perfectly strong enough. So I will get that. The aluminum lower trailing arms. I'd like to get the aluminum A-arms, the lower A-arms for the front, because these are a little flimsy. It's plastic. It happens. And this thing, my buddy there really just wanted to huck it and do backflips. So it's a little rough, but nothing's broken. It's obviously got that center diff and everything in there. I'd like to lock the rear, not worry about locking the front. I will be changing these out. Not really sure what Liam was thinking. If you're watching this, what were you thinking? They're an awesome set of wheels. These are probably, the Amazon specials. I don't see a name on these. My guess is they're from they're Amazon specials. I could be wrong. Yeah, my guess is they're Amazons. Again, I could be wrong. I don't know. But aluminum beadlocks, 2.2, with absolutely giant 2.2 Proline swampers on them. I guess these are the 2.2 XLs. They are legit Proline tires. I believe that's like 5.5 inches tall. If I'm to grab, these are 4.75 with 2.2s, and that's a big difference in tire. Like, I wouldn't even put those on this truck. They're so massive. So I was a little bit like, holy tire, when it came to these. Ginormous. Big mud tire, I guess. You know, when winter comes, for the 2 weeks a year we get it here in Vancouver Island, Lower Vancouver Island, I should say. They'll be great in the snow, or if I want to go in mud, you know, they'll be fantastic. But when you've got, it's like 3,800 kV motor, these babies are going to balloon, which I'm not a fan of that. And again, it looks kind of silly, in my opinion. I could be wrong. It's, I don't even need to worry about flexing. Like, if I could lock everything and this thing would just be a crawler, which it's not, and I'm not doing that. But I am going to also pick up, aside from new body panels, because this thing is, there's the front. It's crusty. It's if I keep this body on it, its name would be Crusty. I think very classic. Not classic. Super skill name. Whatever. I don't know. That's kind of. I forgot I even bothered saying that. But the original guy, Orliam, I don't know who it was, hacked the fender out, obviously, because massive tires. There's no rear because massive tires. And obviously he, I'm thinking it might have been my buddy there crashing it, but the Ford emblem has seen better days. The sway bars need to be reconnected or just taken off. I'll probably reconnect those somewhere, because I got to take this thing apart and kind of figure out what goes where and how and what and everything else. Do a once over on everything. But the most important thing about this truck, aside from the money that's in it, so the deal I got was fantastic. This is the Mint 400 version. So, as you can see, there. Is it? I'm dropping a lot of stuff off of this thing. Oh, that's what those are. Right. Alright, well, we've dropped a couple now. I don't know where the other one is. Somewhere. I can't lose those. Pop those off quickly. Anywho's it. So, how does the rear mount on? This one goes there. One goes maybe there. There. Probably screws into that one. Yeah, we'll figure it out. What was I going on about? Right. What this one is. It is just an engraved underside, metal, oh, it has, I think those might be aftermarket, not sure. Turnbuckles, probably not aftermarket. So obviously the bottom here has seen some better, some better days, much like my D44 shocks, but it is metal, right? Like this is meant to take a beating. The bottom chassis plate, we'll call it, not skid plate. What's that? I think there is a screw missing there. That's okay. Anyway, the only real difference, I believe, was the body. Maybe some shocks and whatnot, but yeah, so that just pops into there. All right. Sorry. Okay. As I was saying, the only real differences that I'm aware of, possibly tires. I don't think so. I think they all came with basically the same rims and tires. But on the bottom, it had the Mint 400 laser etched into the bottom. So that's really cool. That's a big reason why I liked it. Small little details, right? And the body. So this was like that digital camo sort of look. It said Mint 400 on the side, but they took that off and put Uncle Whiskey for whatever reason. This is probably going to be coming off. I'm probably not going to keep this part on here. I'll buy a new Raptor body. Try and give it my feel. I may end up actually cutting this section out. Not using this, although I think I have to because of the way this this kind of slots up into there. So that's okay. I'll just leave that on the new body when I get it. But obviously I'm not putting this back on because this is just not pretty. It still has the Spectrum brushless system in it. Perfectly fine for what this truck is. When I had my old one, I thought, it'd be better to put a censored system in there to kind of have that lower end control. But this system's good enough. I'm not going to bother changing anything out of it. I don't need to. It may need some new shocks, I'll admit to that. These shocks are pretty old and crusty. The radiator thingy back there, that can stay. What would look really cool is putting a scaled motor in here. I don't know how to do that, how even to start, but I might try and think of a way of putting something in there because there's room there. I think it could work. So I'll look into that. But not really worried about it at the moment, really. As funny as or as odd as that sounds after just making that whole thing a thing. Yes, this will get an NSDRC servo. No, I don't know what I'm going to put in it. All the ones I have are in trucks, and well, except for the 700 V2, but the 700 V2 is not set. It's not designed for something like this. This would almost need like an 800 V2 if I'm going that way. Or I don't know if I'll go direct power. I will be completely honest about that. I may end up going BC and then just throw a BC in here. We'll see. But this servo, this has got the Spectrum servo. I will use it until it dies. It also will get my HobbyWing receiver, or HobbyWing flysky receiver. I believe these have a gyro in them, so I'll try and figure that much out. Not that I really need it, but, you know, we'll figure that much out when the time comes. Sorry. Smartwatch. But at some point I will throw an NSDRC servo in here because every truck has to have one. And do a segue to that. Do go to NSDRC scale parts. Link is in the description. Get yourself, you know, if you're into drifting, there's servos for that. There's servos for, you know, buggies, carpet racing, dirt track, just any servo you need, all the way up to trail trucks and comp crawlers. If you're comp crawling, you're going to want one of two servos. RS800 V2, which is what I have in the Optic, and or the RS700 V2, which is a nice low pro servo. So, you know, all you guys that have the buggies and stuff like that, the four-wheel steer buggies and, you know, comp crawlers and everything like that, the kind of low on space, this is what you need. I do have plans for the comp truck that I do want to make sure I have one. I do have plans for what that truck is going to be. I'm just going with what I kind of know, what I know works, and that'll be in a video in a little while. Not really in a huge rush to get that right now. I kind of want to have some fun with this, get some parts in this to make it look proper again. Keep or sell these massive 2.2-inch tires that just really don't fit the build. This needs to have like the 2.2 to 3.0 short course trophy truck style tire. You know, the BF Goodrich KO2s, KO3, something like that. Just a bit better of a tire that won't balloon. I don't need all of this big tire for this truck. But you know, we'll drive it with it. We'll have some fun. We'll see how these tires are. I know the Swampers are great, but we'll see how they work on this. You know, if they work really well, maybe I'll go to a smaller 4.75 version. Kind of bring it down a little bit to make it look a little more scale. But that just, I don't know. To me, it doesn't look quite right with these massive tires. That's just me. I don't know. I'll look at some pictures and kind of see how it all looks, but they're not this big, and I want to be able to have the fenders, and that's, you know, that's kind of my thing. So anyway, I want to put some money into this. Not very much. The body is the most expensive thing. The wheels, to get the stock Losi wheels and tires, I'm looking at Canadian, it's about $62 per set. So it's not horrible. I can go with Proline and getting, you know, their mounted, I believe, beadlock type wheel with theirs. A little more money, but we'll see what happens. We'll see what I end up wanting to do. And definitely that metal rear axle, probably a nice drive shaft in the rear, just for, you know. But, yeah, so here's the Baja is back, sort of. Yeah. So, again, as always, I should say, like, comment, subscribe. Definitely helps everything out. Everything's definitely moving along well, and I'm really happy about all that. So thank you to everybody who watches and listens to me ramble on about all sorts of things. I am editing that video, like I said in the beginning, so that'll be out. That should have been out last week, but was it last week? Like a week and a half ago-ish. The whole household ended up getting, from what we believe, Norwalk virus. So that was a really fun, 4 or 5 days. At least that's what it felt like for me. I think my health issues kind of dragged it out a bit, but nonetheless, nobody had fun. So that was... nothing really got done. But I had filmed before that. So the plan was, edit the video, get it out. I didn't do anything. I just did nothing. And then kind of had to get back to work and do all that stuff the following week. So really haven't had the time. Still trying to recover and get all my energy back. We're all pretty good now. So I'm playing catch up. So there will be a video out this week. It will be the last video of the Zoku. Thankfully, though, there was a guy local to me who, through a buddy of mine, was looking for a Zoku chassis. And because of all the political things going on, getting one might have been tough. I don't exactly know on that, but I did sell that. So I sold it with the transmission. So my buddy, Manny, he got the transmission because he needed another twin. He collects them. Good reason. He has a lot of cool trucks. And then buddy his wanted the Zoku chassis. So it went to a good home. Everything's all good. It just wasn't... how do I word this? Amazing chassis. Zoku RC does really great stuff. Still highly recommend those chassis, especially if you're someone that just picks up a Phoenix or a Fordyce and you want to make it a little more performance orientated. At least with the chassis I had. My problem was, as I went out with my other buddy who's owned this, Liam, he had a VRD carbon. Pretty much right away. I was like, I want that. And I tried to get the Zoku to, perform the way that thing was, and there's no way. I had straight axles, the way I had it set up, nice, it was super low down. So the height, the clearance of the truck was way off, which was my doing. I didn't build that truck to really what it should be. I tried to do something completely different because of the look that I wanted, and while looks and performance did not meet on that, and I kind of just went, I didn't want to keep playing around. I knew what I wanted, and the chassis just wasn't going to kind of get me to that. I'm sure a lot of people would disagree. I should have just kept going and doing whatever, but the VRD is the route that I'm going. Again, not now. I wasn't even going to say all this, but not now. In the future, that is few months, whatever. That is where I'll be going. It will be a stance because it basically comes with everything the same. The new stance has the machine gears and the diffs, so it's perfectly fine. But I like the body. It comes with the dual stage foams. It comes with good tires. So really, I just gotta, I buy the truck, put the RS 700 V2 in it, put a Fusion in it, and it's good to go. I'll even use the remote for now. It doesn't bug me. And then the last thing it'll really need is some Vanquish wheels. So that's not really a huge problem. But that is the route that I'll be going. So clear the air on that. That's that. But until then, we're going to get sideways and flinging dirt and jumping and having some fun. Anyway, that's where we're going to leave it because I'm just kind of rambling now, talking to a camera, which I assume is people listening, so that's why I tend to chat. Yeah, so stay tuned on this. This is going to be kind of the project for a while. Every once in a while, I'm going to pick up some parts. Like I said, Amazon, it's going to be cheap. And we're going to kind of just have some fun. That's what we're going to do. So, as always, everybody, stay tuned, and we'll see you in the next video. Peace out, everybody.